Not bad for a running back, I believe, as you once said. Trent Dilfer's a Super Bowl champion. You saw him Soul and Science on NFL Network leading up to the draft last year. Congratulations, by the way. Head coach, Lipscomb Academy, Nashville. First big playoff win this past week. Congratulations, Trent.
Fired up. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Fired up. Thanks for coming on. You heard what John Harbaugh said. You changed the game. Pretty strong for a guy that's only played 16 regular season games. You buy what Harbaugh's selling there?
I think they're changing the game. I think if you let Steve Young do this 20 years ago, you would have seen the same thing. The game has evolved so much, and Lamar Jackson is a poster child for how it's evolving. 10 years ago when I went to these quarterback camps, every quarterback kind of looked the same. They were tall, lanky, a little uncoordinated, not necessarily the best athlete on the field. About 5-6 years ago, we started noticing all of a sudden it was the biggest, baddest dude. It was the best athlete at the high school playing quarterback. And then Lamar Jackson was the best of the best athletes at high school. And what happened was it became cool to be the quarterback because not only could you throw it, but now these new offenses allowed you to run it. And these quarterback-driven runs are the great equalizer to these defenses that are also putting these monsters on defense to go hunt the quarterback. So you take Lamar Jackson, and he's the best of the best. He has a unique trait, which is twitch. He can always account for one extra defender. Now you let him have a quarterback-driven run game and all the passing opportunities that come off of it, and it's nearly unstoppable. I watched Steve say the other night on NFL Countdown, he said once these kids learn how to pass the ball at a high level, they should be outlawed. And I don't disagree with him that you have not just Lamar Jackson, but you have Justin Fields at Ohio State, who's a 4'3" guy and 220 pounds and can throw the ball as well as anybody and can do the stuff Lamar Jackson's doing. You have Trevor Lawrence at Clemson, who's 6'6", he's a 4'5'8" guy and throws it like an NFL quarterback, but it also do these quarterback run-driven things. So the game has changed, and what the Ravens have done is they've completely bought into it. They've said, we're going to build our entire organization around this player, our entire offense around this player, and we're going to let him do what he does best. And when he does that, it's hard to defend, and it's going to take the league a year or two to fully adapt to it.
I realize he is unique in that we rarely see athletes like Lamar Jackson. But when you were on with Rich last year before the draft, you said that with Lamar, you could either be glass half full or glass half empty. The Ravens were glass half full. Why aren't more organizations all in when they can find a guy like Lamar? He fell to 32, Trent.
Because they don't have the people on staff that know how to best utilize him. And that's not a knock to those coaches. I mean, most NFL coaches have NFL pedigrees. They have grown up with pass protection, run schemes, route concepts that fit the traditional NFL model. And that's how they see the game. I'll give you an analogy. I'm a high school football coach, and I watch high school tape. I'm still learning how to look at it from a high school perspective. I still see it from an NFL perspective. So these guys that are NFL coaches for so long, they see the world through a traditional NFL lens. What the Ravens have said, no, we're going to look at it through more of a Friday night, Saturday lens and look at it more like college football and adapt some of those concepts and schemes because that's what this player does best. Now, there's another piece to this, too. You're also looking at a season of football where offensive line play is not very good. They're not being trained that well. They're more vertical guys. They're more horizontal players than vertical players, more high-hat players than low-hat players. Your defensive linemen are getting better. They're growing up having one job, go hunt the quarterback. So they're seeing these trends, too. You're seeing a limited padded practice environment in high school, college football. So running the ball will now start taking over for passing the ball because you're not practicing the physicality of the game on defense as much. So you're looking at all these trends and you're looking at the game through more of a Friday night, Saturday lens as a staff, and you say, okay, we can do this. But not the other 31 teams are doing that. Most of them are still caught up in this old NFL way of thinking.
All right, I got 15 seconds. After what you saw last night, assuming you saw it from Russell Wilson, Lamar or Russell Wilson for MVP?
I would take Russell. I think he's the best player in football right now. I love Lamar Jackson. He's making that 8 look way better than I made it look in Baltimore. But Russell Wilson, to me, is the best player in football right now, and he's the MVP.
Well, Lamar's trying to do what you did, which is take that team to a Super Bowl as well. Trent Dilfer, congratulations yet again on the big playoff win this past week. Lipscomb Academy in Tennessee. Hope to see you soon, sir.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks for having me.
You got it. Trent Dilfer, everybody.